Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hello, ladies and welcome to episode 387 of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. I'm your host, always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Yo, Tyler. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Kind of bummed out about the Niners game, but at the same time, you gotta take your wins with your losses, gotta move forward. And I'm ready to talk about some video games. How about yourself, Tyler?
Ready to do the same goddamn thing. You know, it's been an up and down week for sure. But take a couple steps forward, step back, couple steps back, step forward, kind of weak. But I'm the same, man. Just ready to get into some gaming. You know, it's just one of those weeks, man. We really could have used a nice hot beat by Vin Diesel. You know. If we could have got this week instead, it would have totally made the week for me. But
dude, I forgot to tell you about something though. I was going on to Xbox last night, on Xbox Live. I was checking my account because I want to know, okay, how long is it until my Game Pass stuff expires? And so I opened up my subscription thing, and it says I'm subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate up until May of 2021. And nice. I look at it, I'm like, wait a minute. I know I spent the whole money to get a year of Xbox Live, and I thought I was only credited for like a month for that Game Pass Ultimate. Uh-huh. And I look upon it, and it gives me Game Pass Ultimate until May. I'm thinking, what? They actually did credit me for the rest of the fucking year of the subscription? Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what mine did last year, E3, and they had this like $1 to upgrade. It went like I had the Xbox Gold or whatever, and it ended up. And in Game Pass or whatever, and it was supposed to be, it was like ending in like, it was perfect because it was supposed to end in like 3 months. And it ended up going on until like, I want to say like April of this year. So yeah, I ended up getting like another 4 or 5 months out of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. How much time do I have left? That's what I want to know now. Now I'm curious.
Oh, here. I know, right? So it's up until like about May for me. And I'm pretty excited about it because it's like now I got a whole bunch of assets that I could go through the Game Pass and see what I want to try out, what I could do. Downloaded one thing today, but there are a couple of new games that will pique my interest and want to try out before the end of the year. But yeah, I just want to give you a little bit of nugget of good news. So yeah, Colonel Gables is now officially, at least for this time, have Xbox Live until May 2021. So who knows what's going to be happening then and there. Also, this past week, I made a conscious decision, and I am really nailing down the rest of the PS4 stuff in terms of games that I wanted to get, and I actually nailed it down to about 2. Ooh. So there are 2 games that I decided to just flat out get, which ties into me making the decision that I don't want to pursue a lot of other backlog games. So I sat down this week, wrote it down all in a form and like a plan and shit, right? Like all the games that had somewhat a little bit of interest that I wanted to play on the PS4. And so I went through and back and forth with a couple of them, and I decided upon 2 games. And ironically enough, as luck would have it, both were on sale this past week. Actually, nice. Last week. On PSN, digitally. And one of them is like an RPG, and the other one is a game that was released this year. So the one that's the RPG is a remake of the PS2 classic Odin Sphere.
Oh, okay.
So Odin Sphere Life Browser, I think it's called. This game was on sale for about $25, so I got that. And the other game was one of the deals of the week. I got Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Nice.
And I bought that thing for $30.
Perfect.
Perfect price for that game.
That is the absolute perfect price for that game.
I looked at it and I debated in my head. It's like I was staring at the game at Walmart last week. It's like, okay, it's still at this $50 mark. I don't want to pay $50 for Resident Evil 3 Remake. And so when I checked online, I saw the game was up for like $30. I'm like, oh, I'm getting a PSN card. I know what 2 games I want to get.
Yeah.
So I decided upon investing in those 2 instead of buying Crash 4, which I originally thought about doing today. But I stopped myself because I can wait until I get paid. I still got other bills I need to go through and address come my next payday. But I'm happy to report I've bought the last 2 games at this point in time that were backlogged that I wanted to play on the PS4. So they're downloaded on my PS4. They're ready for me to delve into when I feel like it. And I'm really excited about digging into Resident Evil 3 Remake because obviously it's not going to be to the extent and the quality as Resident Evil 2 Remake because that one, in my honest opinion, is definitely fantastic. I haven't finished it, but from what I've played so far, it's been an immersive experience. But I do know that Resident Evil 3 Remake is a bite-sized chunk. It'll maybe take you about 4 or 5 hours long to go through the entire campaign and this and that. But I've heard from multiple people it's really replayable. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It was funny actually. I was hanging out with Justin just the Friday night, yes, a couple nights ago, and we were talking about Resident. We were comparing Resident Evil 2 and 3, and it's like I was kind of shocked to find out he actually kind of prefers 2 or 3 over 2, the remakes, which I was pretty surprised about because I personally I think I like 2 is a better game I think, but 3 is more fun because it's more of an action game.
I'll tell you what, that's the same type of conversations people were having back then in the 90s with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 because I've actually not took part in the conversations because I never played both of them up until later on in my life, but I've always would hear the scuttlebutt in regards to either at school or in magazines or something like that, or even like watching YouTube videos online over the years that people really loved Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and both of those games were definitely high points in Capcom's Resident Evil series up until 4 completely blew everything out of the water. So it's like it's that kind of history where this year in and of itself, Tyler, has subconsciously felt like the whole remastered year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we started off, say, with games like Final Fantasy VII Remake. We have had the Tony Hawk 1+2. We had like pretty much like a revival of old IPs that either have had remastered editions, had collections of some form. I mean, hell, with the Mario 3D All-Stars and this and that. But I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the games that are going to be on our lists this year are probably going to be remasters.
Yeah, I think there will definitely be a couple on mine for sure.
Most definitely, same here.
Yeah, but yeah, I haven't bought anything new this week. I'm waiting. There's one. I was tempted to get I talked about last week. Oh yeah, well I mean I'll get into the rigmarole here in a second. But
okay.
I was talking about last week. With the Mass Effect trilogy being delayed, I'm like to next year. I'm like, well that kind of puts a damper on Extra Life for me. I'm like, what am I going to play? And I was like looking to see if there's anything came out, in the last couple of years that I've missed or whatever. And there's something came out earlier this year, a game I played before, but I've kind of want to play again. Saints Row the Third was remastered earlier this year, and I heard it's
that's true.
Wasn't anything special, but I definitely was, looking at wanting to get it maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I went to go get, it was like I think it was like $28 on sale on PSN. I'm like, it's usually like 40. I'm like, I didn't think it was that expensive, but I'm like, gosh, $28. I'll wait a little bit, maybe, and maybe it'll be a little cheaper. And I'm like, I finally said, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet and buy it. And I went and looked, and like that this is like the next day I went and looked, and the sale was over on. I'm like, god damn it. So I got some GameStop points I can use. I'm probably just gonna get it on there for cheap, but
yeah,
I think that that's like the one, because there's really I'm like in that it's weird. I'm in that like in between phase, and it's like I also like I like there's some games like I'm not really my backlog of games I've been wanting to check out and stuff. Like some couple games on Game Pass, a couple games like I've already beat before, but I was like got in the hankering to replay and stuff. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh man, I really don't want to start them because of Extra Life. So I'm like sitting around waiting but I'm also like, I know for a fact though, if like I wait to play these games, like some of these games on Extra Life, I'm like, well, like the week after is a murderer's row of just video games in the PS5. I'm like, I'm never gonna get back to them. And then so it's like, I'm in that rock and a hard place, and like, I'm not really a rock. I put myself in a rock and a hard place with this, where I'm like, oh man, like I should just wait. But man, goddamn, like, I don't know, playing some Saints Row the Third would be fun. That game was like just pure joy. Like that's a game I can really use right now. So, yeah, so I don't know. I might wait like a couple more weeks and get it because I know if I get it now, by the time Extra Life rolls around, I mean it's about a little over a month away. I have a beat. So speaking of Extra Life though, people don't know. We go through this every year. You guys know it's coming if you've listened to us. But it's a children's charity that we do every year. This will be Gables' 8th and my 9th this year. It's on November 7th. We play games for 24 straight hours. All the money that we raise goes towards Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Go to extra-life.org and check them out. Join them. Sign up. Look into it. It's a really cool thing. I think this is the 11th year. I want to say oh man, what was it? I think last year it raised over 10 million, and so far I think it's raised over like 40 million. In just the 10 years it's been going on for. But yeah, go on there, check it out. Like I said, 24 straight hours of video gaming. It's my Christmas. It's also my, I always say it's my least favorite day of the year. Cause I look forward to it all year round. And I get that same feeling of disappointment after it's over as you do when you're a kid, after Christmas, after you get done wrapping all the presents and you have that realization that there's no more presents. That's kind of feels like Extra. But it's also when hour like 10 or 12 rolls around, you're just like, oh man, I'm kind of just done with games. And then you're like, but like I'm still having fun, but I'm kind of like ready to do something else. Then hour 18 rolls around, you're just like, my ass hurts, my knees hurt. I feel like I might have drank too much coffee, and it's midnight, and you still have 6 more hours left, and then it's 3 a.m. and you have 4 or 5 more hours left, and you're just like, I hate everything. Like, why do I do this to myself? I was like, I'm not doing this again next year. But then, you realize real fast, oh, I'm doing this, for a cool reason. So, awesome thing that we do every year. We have fun with it. Some of the best it's some of my favorite memories of gaming have been doing that, whether it's Rock League with the Talk Ship guys or us talking about Canadian folklore at 4 a.m.
That's true. We did that one year, didn't we?
Yeah, I think I
was talking about it in fucking like you and I and Sam or something at the
in
point.
West. Yeah.
In West.
Was it West? And there was one other person I remember, but yeah, we ended up Googling Canadian folklore. This is what happens when you've been in a party chat for 19 hours, and there's only so much to talk about. It's like, we couldn't do a 3-hour podcast once a week. God knows we had to talk to each other for 24 straight hours, and we're all sleep deprived, exhausted, hating every moment of doing the thing we love to do the most. And this is the shit you get into. It's just, Canadian folklore. But yeah, it's always a great time. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, like I said, check it out. It's a cool thing. Sign up for it. Tell your friends. Share it. If it's not something you're interested in doing, tell your friends that are also gamers about it. It's just, it's a good excuse to play games for 24 straight hours. And you can do some cool stuff while you're doing it. And you don't have to do it for 24 straight hours. I know a lot of people, you don't have to do it on the day. Doing it on the day is the best because that's when majority of people are doing it. And for the most part, that's when all of us are doing it. But, a lot of people do it the week after, week before. Some people, you don't do it all at once. People will break it up over the course of a week or two, or they'll take, I've known people that do a 6-hour block. I've heard of people, they do it for 6 hours every Saturday for the month of November, or they do 2 12 hours, or they do 4 hours a day every day for the course of the week. But Gables, you were talking about downloading a Resident Evil game. I also downloaded a Resident Evil game.
Oh no.
Resident Evil 6. So it's downloaded, it's ready to go. I'm ready to go. Watch, we're gonna get ready to play this game, and like this game, I'm like counting on to take up a good chunk of my actual life.
Oh my god!
And watch, they're gonna like turn the servers off or something like that. With no one our luck. But like, actually, it'd be awful at the time, but also probably for like over the course, like for the next 12 hours, it'd probably be the best thing to happen to us, just 'cause it just save us from the torture of playing the game. It's funny. I was telling Justin about it. He's like, yeah. So we decided that we're gonna play Resident Evil 6. He's like, he looked at me like, why? It's like, why would you do this to yourselves? It's just, I was, it's like it's the one in the main line of the 1 through 7 that I haven't beaten. It's something. It's that monkey. We're Steve Young, and we're going into the Super Bowl against the San Diego Chargers. We got to get the monkey off our back.
No shit, dude.
So
I love that point of reference.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I figured you was a Niners fan. You love the reference. So,
And a fun fact. I was 5 years old when the Niners, I think, won their last Super Bowl back around '94. I think it was early '94. Yeah, like 94. February '94 and stuff. Yeah, I was like roughly around. I was going to turn 5 that year. I was actually 4, and I watched the 49ers win that Super Bowl.
Very nice. Yeah. So this is again, that joy you felt in that moment is the same joy you're going to feel when you beat Resident Evil 6, or it'll be the exact opposite feel. How good you felt.
Cannot be worse than Pitter Pod, dude. I mean, that was the lowest of the low of the PS4 generation for me.
Gables.
What?
It's gonna be worse. It's funny. I don't know what it is about Extra Life and you playing bad games, but it's my fault. I rope you into them. It's like
every time else throughout the year, it's like I'm playing these fun games, and this all of a sudden Extra Life's like, oh my god, no.
It's like, hey, man, you want to play Pitter Pot? You got a platinum Pitter Pot. It's always a good time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure we're gonna have some people will get together and we'll probably do some Rocket League. I definitely want to do some Fall Guys this year. So,
yeah. I got Fall Guys. I got all sorts of freaking fighting games. Like, say if Wes wants to come on and start some shit, I can always do something in there.
True. Yeah, you can always.
Because I got all the fighting games downloaded this year, so yes.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to make up an excuse. Oh, I don't play Dragon Ball Fighters. Oh, hooty-tooty-too.
Yeah. So I only play Hot Shots Golf.
I only play Everybody Does Golf.
Oh, that's what Everybody's Golf. Yeah, that's what it's called now. Yeah. Fuck that game. That game's awful. I hate that game. But yeah. So anyways, 5 weeks away. We're gonna talk. We're gonna be pimping it out the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks probably, because we're gonna do we're gonna probably spend a lot of time talking about Resident Evil 6 after we.
Oh god.
We got to do it. I'm like I said, we're gonna put it on easy. I'm not gonna torture myself any more than I have to. We got, but it's just get it done over with at this point. So we're just gonna rip. We gotta rip the band. We've been slowly pulling that Band-Aid off for 7 years. So
I know, right?
Now's the time. If only it was like 4-player co-op, and we can get 2 other suckers to join us. I don't know who's.
It's only a 2-player co-op game.
Yeah, so lucky for everybody else, but yeah, I can't wait for the people in the party chat with us. They're all gonna like bail on us. Like we can't hear this. We're not supporting you doing this. This is awful what you're doing to yourself. They're gonna like, you guys need medical help. But anyways, speaking of gaming here, games that we're going to be playing, Gables, what have we been playing? I want to know what you've been playing.
All right. So there have been a couple of things that I have been playing over this past week, one of which has been more of Mario Super Picross.
Okay.
The game on the SNES app on the Switch. And I did finish that game. I beat that game this past week.
Nice.
And let me tell you something, Tyler. I love my fair share of my Picross. I mean, hell, I played a lot of it on the 3DS in terms of that European Picross game that never made it stateside on the 3DS eShop. I played through this version, this Super Famicom game. I couldn't read hardly a lot of the stuff because it being in Japanese. But at the same time, Picross is pretty simple to understand in that regards. You're dotting the dots. You're trying to figure out in your head what you're going to go through and what dot does what. And of course, with me, because of the higher challenges and stuff like that, I had to go through and rewind a couple different times because point being, if I played this game as a kid, I probably would not have finished it because this is a trial of patience with this game. But over the week, I chipped away at it, I kid you not, I could have sworn I spent like a good solid like 8 to 10 hours on this damn game. Just broke it up into like 2 or 3 hour chunks. But like I said before, the game is structured, from what I know, 10 levels, like 10 main levels with like about 12 different types of maps for each level. And you have these 10 levels, and all of a sudden you have the very last one, which is like a special course. But what was very disappointing about this in general was like there was no little puzzles that were just like Nintendo themed characters or something for the time or this or that. It was just mostly like it was mostly just like odds and ends stuff, you know. Oh, here's some things of flowers. Oh, here's some dude or something. No, I'm gonna refrain from saying the last bit because I don't want to have the freaking head jerking joke. But anyway, but what I'm pretty much saying is the photos and the things you were uncovering and stuff, they were fine, you know. I did enjoy playing Mario Picross because it was fun. It definitely kept my interest throughout that entire game. But at the same time, this is probably not going to be a game I'm going to repeat or replay a lot of. I'm happy with the fact that I was able to blaze through this game, had my bit of enjoyment out of it. But I did play another game on the SNES app, and it had to do in regards to the videos I had been watching the past couple weeks in regards to the whole speedrunning thing for the Donkey Kong Country series. So I decided to go back and play a bit of Donkey Kong Country on the SNES app. And I gotta say, I am enjoying it a lot more now than I did the last time I played the game. Which, when I think about it, the last time I played Donkey Kong Country, I played it on the Wii's Virtual Console. I still have my Virtual Console games on my Wii U, but you know I'm not going to take out my Wii U just to play that right now. I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's like, oh God, how can I say this? It's like going from Tom Brady to Cam Newton. You know, with the Switch being Tom Brady and all of a sudden the freaking Wii U being Cam Newton. In football analogy, where it's like you have a bit of fun and enjoyment, you know, with Cam Newton, the quarterback. He's had a lot of good seasons in that regards, but he didn't really do anything else. Whereas Tom Brady's like, okay, we got ourselves a bit of championships here. We got this and that and this and that. But point being is I am definitely enjoying a bit of playing through Donkey Kong Country and actually figuring out some bit of elements that I didn't actually think I would go through and recognize while playing through this game. I am on the last main part of the DK Island and stuff, to where it's like the Kremling's, I think, industrial things before you go on to, say, K. Rool's ship. But I'm starting to understand a couple things. One, I do not like a lot of the animal buddies in this game because, for one, you have Espresso the ostrich, right? Basically, it's an ostrich that you ride across the levels. It'll do like a little flutter thing based upon how many times you go through and tap the A button and stuff. And so Espresso will do like maybe a small glide or something like thing across the stage. But the thing about the animal buddies in this game, it's like they'll run away from you, and sometimes you'll not have a chance to go through and maybe go through and you know, just kind of gain control over them, and then just, you know, right on top of them again, and then just progress through a level. The later DKC games, they changed it to where you actually turn into the animal buddy itself, and then you just have an additional life in place of a Kong. So it's like you get 2 hits quintessentially. But in this game, it's different to where the Kongs are riding the animal buddies. So it's like let's say, for example, you'll ride on top of Rambi, the rhinoceros, and stuff through a stage. And Rambi and On Guard, both of those animal buddies, they're fun to play. They're fun to go through and have their own specific aspects. Of course, inside this game, you also have the element of doing their various mini games if you match 3 of the icons for these characters. And I've done a couple of them. I mean, they're kind of like an endless loop of collecting these stars, collecting these bananas, I should say, so that you can earn 1-ups. And because I've done save states and stuff like that, I got like about 40-something lives and stuff for while playing through Donkey Kong Country. I really do love playing this game, though. I mean, it's very fun. The platforming's on par. I have been trying a little bit of the jump techniques with Diddy Kong to where you can actually go for the last pixel of like a ledge, do his little roll animation stuff, and sometimes he'll drop down, but if you press the jump at the right angle, he'll actually jump out of the fucking pit onto the ledge. So that's been fun to experiment with. But let's see, I'm trying to think if I've played anything else with the games and stuff. Well, not so much on Xbox One. I've just been watching stuff on that. And Game Pass stuff. PS4. With PS4, I can't really remember too much if I've played anything over the last week. But it's been mostly Switch focused this week. Which is kind of surprising. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Okay. Yeah, I've been about the same. I've just been playing that. I played a little bit more of that. Not a little bit more. I started playing that Super Mario Brothers 35.
Right.
Have you got a chance to play that?
Yes, actually. I played through Mario 64 on Super Mario 3D All Stars. I tried a little bit.
The online game with a 35.
Oh my god. That's the last one that I couldn't remember. Yes, I did play Super Mario 35.
Okay. What'd you think?
I think it's a blast. I think it's an absolute blast to play. My one gripe is that I can't really outlast a lot of the last remaining people. Like, my highest I've gotten is like 4th place out of that thing, and that's because sometimes when you go through some of the levels and people go through some of those courses really quick and they pile on a lot of the enemies, sometimes it's hard to get past some bit of the enemies without like a flyer flower or like an invincible star because they'll literally jam all these freaking little Goombas and all these paratroopas and like these Koopas like all over the place. So I literally had a session where I was doing well. I got into 4th. I was like the 4th remaining person and stuff. And all of a sudden I just do a couple stupid things at once. I lose my fire flower. I lose my Super Mario power-up, and all of a sudden I had a terrain throughout this course, and I was trying to get enemies up, and then I fell to my death. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm finding I'm falling to my death a lot in this game.
Yeah, my problem is like, because it's like you have the time and everything like that, and saying like the more enemies you kill, like they add seconds to your time, or they add seconds to your time, and like I've been struggling a lot because of one, you get like, especially the farther you go, the more like enemies that pop up on your screen, and that just gets insane because like you want to kill some to keep your time going, but also like you're trying to dodge and everything like that. So I've been struggling. Like I can't. I've only played like maybe 10 games, but
Well, here's what I've realized. If you keep on collecting certain power-ups, if you go on a stage repeatedly and you collect, say, additional fire flower power-ups, it'll actually add more time, like by at least, I think it's like 10 or 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. All right.
But, yeah, every Goomba you stomp on, every Koopa that you destroy and whatsoever, it does add little bits of time. And obviously, if you finish a stage, it'll add even more time to that.
Okay.
During my last portion, I actually saved up to where I had like about 4 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4 minutes chalked up. And at the same time, the music was playing like it was rushing and this and that. That does that, I noticed, whenever you go across, like, the final 5.
Oh, yeah. I've never got close to that. I've gotten to, like, I keep getting to, like, the mid-teens. Like, that's like, the best I've done. I'll do, like, mid to high teens. And,
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what's funny, though, is when you start off a game and all of a sudden it's like you see people on stage 1-1 just go into the first Goomba, accidentally just die.
Oh.
That's actually happened to where somebody's actually... I had 2 players inside of one game do that exact same thing, like at the same time, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, it's fun. Definitely, like, you can, like, set to, like, when you do stuff, like, where you want your stuff to go to, like, you want it to be random. You can, like, pick people, or you can set up to give it to the people with, like, the most coins or the most time or whatever.
Right.
Or you can attack people that are, like, about to get knocked out, too. So it's like, do you want to just keep pounding those people or whatever? So it's definitely fun. I don't know how much more I'm gonna put into it just because I'm not like, I'm not very good at the original Super Mario Brothers in general, but it's like,
Right.
it's definitely fun because I think it helps too that I die so soon, but the games aren't very long. I mean, a couple minutes at most. So.
Oh no! I mean, it's not too long at all. I mean, the longest session I had was quintessentially that lasted me around maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 12.
Wow! Jesus. Okay. Wow. Okay.
That's because I most recently played through Super Mario Brothers, and I understand the physics of it.
Yeah.
A little bit more cleaner than I did maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah. Say my average game was like 2 or 3 minutes. So, that's funny. Wow, I didn't even know that was
I think the lowest I actually got was like maybe a 15, I want to say, but that was because oh god, let's see. I think I fell to my death more than once doing a couple games, but
we get it, Gables. You
off,
have a big penis. We get it. Okay.
No, what really pisses me off is I've gotten so many disconnects over the online service. I'm not too sure if it had to do with my internet in general, or it had to do with like the eShop, the Nintendo online service. But I've been coming across like I had like 2 or 3 games in a row. I'm right in the middle of something, and all of a sudden disconnect. Like, God, no!
Wow.
It pissed me off so much I actually turned it off and went to play Donkey Kong Country. I'm like,
That's funny.
I'm playing Donkey Kong.
He's like, fuck this. Donkey Kong's better anyways. That's funny.
But I will say when I can connect and play, it's one of the best games of the year. Honestly, I have so much fun playing this.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. I do want to give it some more time, but it's just definitely it's one of those games. I was just especially online games, I'm not very good at in general. So, but yeah, the only other thing I really been I did a few more runs in Hades. I just cannot get past the fourth fucking boss or the third boss. I'll get the perfect fucking build that I want, and just I will keep playing it, but it's just like it's definitely like it's getting a little like before I used to like, all right, as soon as I die I'm like, fuck, all right, I almost got it, I'm gonna jump. Now I'm like, my confidence in like, not so much confidence, but like my want to like going back in and like playing this over and over again, replaying sections over and over again, it's diminishing a little bit. It's like I'm having fun. It's just frustrating sometimes because like when you get like, because when there's just games where you're just we all get there where you're just feeling it and you're getting there and like you have like that build and like everything's lining up for you. It's like I got I'll have those builds where I'm just like I got all the shit I wanted or most of it, and like I've got all my extra lives that I need. I got all this. I make it to there, and I get so fucking close, and then like I die or whatever. It's like, or there's I had runs where it's like you're 5 minutes in, and you're just like I'm not getting, because it's all random what kind of powers you get and stuff. So it's like, it's like I'm not getting any of the shit I want, or you just start off badly and it's just like you lose a life the first 5 minutes. But it's like I've already invested a little bit of time in this. So like I want to, and then then like okay, well I'm just gonna focus on getting permanent power ups and shit like that. So it's like it's just I don't know, it's just still balancing it out. It's just but it's just frustrating as I've had a few where like I felt like this is it, I've got it, this is my chance, it's my time, and I fail. I'm like fuck. So I'm like I said, I still love this game, but man, I so badly but this is more of like a testament to how much I enjoy this game. Where it's like, you guys know me if you've been listening long enough. Gables knows like I don't like these challenging games. I don't have the patience for them, and especially one where I have to replay through 20-30 minutes of progress of stuff to like get back to it, like right where I was, and then die a couple minutes in. So this says just how much I'm into this game, is the fact that it's a game style that I don't like. It's everything I don't like about gaming, and I'm having a blast with it still, and still loving it. But yeah, that's it. You were talking about Picross last week, so it got me jump back into Picross 4. So I buy the new one every year on Switch. So I'm like, I played a shit ton more of that. So I'll jump into it. It's my nice it's my good get my mind off things game. Like you just zone out and basically do math equations essentially.
It's so much easier just like to go and just like just relax and play a little bit of Picross and stuff. It definitely has distracted me quite a bit during the past week. It's been really fun, honestly.
Yeah, I love because I keep going on there because I bought that 51 Clubhouse Games like the week it came out in like June, and
Uh-huh.
it's been in my Switch for a while. And I took it out for like a week to play through a bunch of Hyrule Warriors again, but then I put it back in. I'm like, I have yet to play it, and I keep going to play it. And I'm like, oh, that's Picross right there. I'm gonna play Picross instead. So I play Picross. So like, I don't know when I'm gonna play that game, but I need to. And then Justin was talking about it. He's like, oh, that game's great, man. I love playing it. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna go check it out. And then I got home that night and I played more Picross. So it just kind of tells you where I'm at with that.
Oh, here's what's gonna happen. Now, once you finally do get around to it, you're gonna play it, and all of a sudden you're gonna get fucking hooked. Like, oh, at probably the most inconvenient time.
Yeah, it's gonna come like after like the day the PS5 comes out. I'm just waiting. I'm gonna start playing it because I'm waiting for shit to download, and I'm like 6 hours later, I'm like, I'll just keep them. Fuck it. So I got Miles Morales sitting there, but oh man, this baseball game is just really good. It's just gonna happen to me probably. It's like I'm just gonna play in that.
You spend like $500 something for a fucking system.
Yeah.
Like the one game that you want to get, all of a sudden you get distracted by a little thing.
Yeah, I'm like hundreds of dollars invested in this new console. And I'm playing a game that I've had for 6 months. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with me. Not a lot of news yet this week either. It's funny. I was just talking about last week where it's like every week you're just like expecting like a like a regular week, and it's like the last 2 weeks we've recorded 2 hours plus. Just because there's so much content out there and so much news, and it's like every week we've like, we're like plowing through some of this stuff just to get it down under an hour and a half for the most part. And it's just like, finally for the first time, it feels like, I don't know, well, there's not like any major rumors. There's been some news announced, but there's like not that big, like some of the things there's just like one thing gets announced. It's like we could talk for an hour about it, which we have on some of the stuff, but yeah, it's for the first time in a couple months now. We have kind of a tame week, and I was telling you before the show, this is more of a Gables week for news on some of this stuff. So I'm going to let you take over on this first topic here. It was funny actually because I had it in the show notes, and I was going to bring it up if we had time,
Right.
And we talked about it for like 5-10 minutes before we started recording, and then obviously we went like 2 hours, so we didn't need to talk about it. And I was like, my question was, what the fuck's going on with Crown Tundra? And then literally the next morning, like not even 8 hours later, that's just the thing that I need to do is like on the show or before the show, because we always record on Sunday night. We talk about it, and then they fucking announce that like we talk about I was like, oh man, I feel like the PS5 stuff's got to be announced here soon. I said that a couple weeks ago, and then boom, we wake up in the morning. Hey, there's a PS5 reveal event on Saturday or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? So I don't know what's something, Gables, that's just got to be talked about soon. They're got to be making a new Metal Gear Solid 6. They got to be announcing it here soon, Gables. That's what I'm gonna say. So
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Even before we get into the whole like Crown Tundra stuff like that, I seriously am thinking now the more that things are popping up from like good old games, GOG and stuff like that. Dude, I kind of feel like Sony may be edging towards something Metal Gear Solid related, or even Silent Hill related in the coming, who knows, pretty soon.
I don't.
It just feels like it's starting to edge that way now.
I think we're done with big announcements for the year on those two. I think we're gonna get just a little. I mean, I think we'll get the UI stuff, but I say that now something's gonna happen in the morning. Cross fingers. But yeah, I don't know. I mean. I think the big stuff is done for the year now. They're just focusing on the launches. I think the only thing really left to learn is like, what does the UI look like? Like that's the big thing I wanted about PS5 because I hate the UI in both of them. The PS4 drives me fucking nuts. The fact that like it takes forever for shit to load, and sometimes it just doesn't load. And it's like I don't have like crazy fast internet, but I mean I have 200 speed here, and it's like I remember I think I told a story a while back where it's like literally like I tried to pre-order Cyberpunk. Like this is the day before it got delayed. I went on there and I tried just to pre-order the game because I had like the money in my account. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna I'm gonna pre-order. I try to pre-order my games when I have the extra cash and shit like that. So it's like that way. If I don't have the money, then when the game comes out, at least that's one less. At least have the thing I want to get, and I'm just gonna, if I don't spend it on this, I'm gonna just blow it on Taco Bell or something. So I remember I spent God knows how long just trying to get into the store just to pre-order I'm trying to give PlayStation money, and their store is like just it isn't loading, or I'll finally get to load. Then I go in there, I go to the pre-order section, and the pre-order section isn't there; it just doesn't load. And then you finally get the pre-order section to load, but then like you go to click on the games, like the search all the games, and that section doesn't load. Or then you finally get there and you click on Cyberpunk, and then Cyberpunk page just doesn't load, or then it does load, and then you click on pre-order, and then it just spins for an hour, and it doesn't let you actually confirm the purchase. Like, I spent God knows how much time. Same thing with Last of Us Part 2. It's just like, I'm trying to give you money. Why don't you work? And I don't know if this is something they can fix PS5. Maybe it's a fucking bigger issue than that, but I just feel like, or like trying to go like, oh, I want to see what Justin's been doing on PS4, or Gables has been doing on PS4, whatever. And I go click on your fucking profile, and it just doesn't load. Or I go click on mine. I go look at my I want to go look at my trophies, and I'm like, it doesn't fucking load. I'm like, why? Why does everything just takes so long to do? Or like you click the PlayStation button, and like you go to scroll somewhere, and then randomly just pulls you back to the fucking thing. I'm like, why? And this has been going on for years, and I was hoping that the Pro would make it a little better, and it doesn't. But I'm hoping the PS5 just fixes that, because I can't. It just irritates my soul at this point.
I'm kind of wondering, do you have like a wired connection or a
Yes,
wireless connection?
I have a wired connection. It's a stable.
Jesus Christ!
It's every time I go, I check my speed, and it's always between like 170 and 190.
I have had similar issues, and you're not the only one with this. There's a main reason why I don't pre-order digital games upon the PSN.
Because you can't.
That's the thing, man. It's not just you can't, but it's like it's so cumbersome. Yeah. Not just with that, but also with like that's one of the same things I've had with searching for games in the PSN in general, where I go to all games, I go from like maybe the newest all the way down, and it takes its sweet ass time, not only going through and load up certain pages, but also the pop in when you finally do. Of course, they have a search engine and all that shit, but sometimes you just want to look at a good span of like games and stuff where you can decide, okay, I want to get this, I want to get that, this and that. But yeah, I've had similar issues with like the Switch's eShop thing as well, because even though they got the categories that they can go through and this and that, but there have been times I've had so much like problems just like trying to navigate some bit of their store in order to try to find certain games, because they don't. I don't know what it is. It's like with every digital shop on consoles, there's just something that keeps it back from being easily accessible. Even though they got multiple different things, like search by category of genre, search by like the keywords or something like that.
Yeah.
And other stuff. But I will say I think there was a latest update and stuff for Xbox in terms of updating their storefront and also their Game Pass menu or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it looks a bit different.
Yeah, there's definitely some minor changes to it. And like, I have my problems with my problem. Like theirs is a lot smoother to run through. I just feel like theirs is like a little more cumbersome, where it's like I just can't find shit. Like PlayStation's their store is like, it's simple. It just doesn't work. Where it's like, I feel like Xbox is, maybe it's just because I'm a little more used to PlayStation side, but it's like I just it's easy to go, like games, movies, things like that. I don't like their main UI. Like just trying to get to like the TV and services section. I hate that fucking thing. Just don't do that. Just make it so the apps are on my main screen, or I can put them in a folder. That's the fucking point of them. Yeah, like the Xbox One, it moves so much smoother. But yeah, it's like I struggle to find shit half the time. Like I just can't, like just going through, like I want to look at the Game Pass games. It's like I'm getting a little better at it, but it's just like there's so much to get to where you need to go to, and there's so much trial and error to find things is my problem with Xbox.
What I will say, we complained about the PS4 interface and things like that. It was a lot worse than the PS3. That XMB bar and like the load in of friends lists. Even if you went on the PS4 and then try to play things on the PlayStation 3, that damn UI is so fucking like cumbersome to navigate around. And it's also, even if say you have like over 100 friends in your friends list, it will not load every little bit of it.
Yeah, well, it's like
because they can only hubble up to like what 100 friends or so maximum back then.
Yeah, now it's 1,000.
Yeah, and even so, you have trouble loading in like God, even in something as basic as, say, like a trophy list for a game or something, if you want to compare to someone else,
Yeah.
or get someone else's trophies, it takes a sweet-ass time to get everything else all loaded.
Yeah.
And don't get me started upon, like, you check a trophy list and all of a sudden you're trying to look at everything that you've played, like, for trophy-wise from since you've done things on PSN, which for me was way back in around 2008, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing how long it takes, it took me like a good solid maybe 5 to 7 minutes to load everything.
Oh, good God.
I'm not joking either. I've been playing games on the PSN and earning trophies since 2009. So it's like, oh man, no, late 2008. Now that I think about it, because the trophy integration wasn't until like late 2008, early 2009. And one of the major things I remember having was like trophies for Little Big Planet. Now that I think about it, yeah, the original Little Big Planet. So trying to go all the way down, navigating how many games that I've played, all the trophies that I've earned, all the platinums that I've done, repeats, this and that. It took a good solid 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, fuck all that. No. And here it is, 12 years later. We're not much better.
Yeah, I know. And so I'm hoping that Sony actually showcases something in regards to the UI of the PS5, or, I don't know, give a little bit more information, considering that a lot of what I've been seeing, especially over the past week, has been the prototype, like, not final version, but like a prototype version of the Xbox Series X over to like other YouTubers, other gaming journalists and stuff. And I've heard some great things from Digital Foundry in terms of backwards compatibility, in terms of load times.
Yeah.
How certain games like Sekiro are like running 60 frames, like 60 FPS and stuff like that were struggling on the Series X. Like maintain that consistency. Same thing with Final Fantasy 15 and like, oh my gosh, some other games as well. I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider was another one that had some bits of issues, but I've been hearing a lot of good things in terms of the Series X's performance in terms of backwards compatibility. So I'm hoping that we'll see multiple things this week from Sony, hopefully, in the coming weeks, considering the PS5 is like 5 weeks out, and also the Xbox Series X and Series S, because I would love to see the backwards compatibility progress of, say, the PS5, since I have a whole slew of a backlog of PS4 games here that I could come down the line. Want to see their performance if they're better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there was like something came out that like some Japanese like content creators and like YouTubers, stuff like that, like, and Twitch streamers, like they've got their hands on it, and some reporters over there, but they haven't made their way over here yet. So I think it's just
I've been hearing somewhat of the same things. I've also been seeing like photographs of like these Russian development kits for the PS5, showing some things of screenshots and like a video of how this dev kit PS5 boots up and all this other stuff, but nothing really concrete, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so I think Sony's been very quiet in terms of certain specs of their system and even their front of their freaking UI, and it's this close to their launch.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox hasn't shown theirs either. Like the Series X stuff, it's like the current one. They said that's not finalized yet, so I don't know.
Right.
Hopefully we get some here soon. That's really the only big thing I have left. Like I want to see is the UI, and if even if it's not great, if it just works, like it loads fast, like a decent enough time. That's all I need.
There's one thing I also learned about the Series X in regards that there are plenty of games that backwards compatible that have an automatic HDR, and one of the things I was looking at was off of one person's video I was looking at was the original Panzer Dragoon Orta that was actually running in HDR, and it looked pretty fucking cool in motion.
I saw someone was playing Geometry Wars 2 with HDR on, and that looked gorgeous.
It was. I saw that too. You know, that plus like, there are some, like I said before, it was really telling when you have games like from the 360 era or even the original Xbox that are getting automatic HDR. And that's the system doing that in terms of the backwards compatibility in general. Like automatic HDR for some of these games. Some of them are worked in, some of them are not. But I think that's game breaking right there, because here you're taking these older games that were released on their systems far back as 2002, and they're implementing things that weren't exactly into the game. to begin with, man. It's pretty eye-opening with that shit.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on these things and see what they do. Yeah, we're oh boy, we're a little over, just over a month away. 6 weeks. 6
Could
weeks
you
out.
just imagine playing like an old Halo game or something like that with automatic HDR? That'd be fucking crazy.
Boy. Yeah, some of those older games too that were.
Or Gears.
Yeah, Gears 5 is still. It's probably the most stunning game I've seen this generation on consoles. Like, I've always said Horizon, Ghost, and Gears 5 are probably the 3 games that stand out on it. Just a visual spot, and that's just because of the colors and the way things pop on those things.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus was one of those games, like the remaster from a couple years ago. Because when I got the PS4 Pro and I downloaded that game, and I switched it on to like the 60 FPS things with like the reverse obviously the lower down fidelity, and I saw how smooth the transitions and the movements were. I was fucking freaking out because oh my god, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. But
I had the same reaction. I kid you not. I had the same reaction back in the day when my parents first got me an N64 and I was playing Super Mario 64. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so fucking cool.
Imagine what Nintendo games look like with HDR.
Oh my god, dude, I could not handle that shit.
Yeah, God. Every Nintendo fanboy would jizz immediately.
Dude, it'd be like playing games on the Atari 2600 and all of a sudden playing games on the PS2. It'd be that tremendous of a jump.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Oh man, because with their colors, my god. It's like I watched some gameplay of the people playing like the Mario games like on PC, like the 4K Mario 64. It's like, God. Good lord, that looks beautiful. I'm sitting there, I'm playing Mario, the Mario All Stars. I'm like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. And then I see someone playing that on YouTube. I'm like, fuck me, man.
I think we're at that point that we've had so many good games that we just want to see a lot of our old classic games just upgraded to 4K with like high def, like HDR and all this other shit, man. I mean, that would be amazing to me.
Now we just now that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, we need Brink remade.
Oh god,
that's what we need, Gables. That's what we need. Game of the generation.
That or binary domain.
Oh god, yes. Oh god. Oh Oh boy. I just make it backwards compatible. Let me play it. Oh man, that game's so good.
So like Brink, binary domain. Oh man,
it's fucking Gears gameplay with a Terminator story. It's like with some Japanese brought into it.
I kid you not, man. If I do get a Series X one of these days, the first game that I'm gonna put in, it's gonna be Mirror's Edge for the 360.
That'll look good.
And here's why, dude. That game, even when I put it on the 1S, that thing has HDR support. That damn game has HDR support. And I was looking upon it, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually not too bad. So if I actually have the system that will support that full-on HDR, like a Series X on my TV, man. Yeah. But that's then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were literally going to talk about Crown Tundra 20 minutes ago. We got into a rant about fucking Sony UI. Yeah. So I'm going to the news for this week. Like I was saying, like something we literally were talking about 8 hours later. Boom. Hey, check back in a couple days. So we got the announcement of the Crown Tundra. It's the second part of the DLC expansion for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's coming out October 22nd. So, Gables, you played the first bit. I haven't played either one of these yet.
Right.
What's kind of the big stuff coming out of this? What are the stuff you're looking forward to?
Well, let's see. For the Crown Tundra, in and of itself, it's the second part of the expansion pass. That was for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Kind of like how the Isle of Armor, it was a little bit smaller in chunk and scale, but yet you were able to do a lot of different things based upon how you invested inside of the dojo for Master Mustards, like dojo in general. By collecting watts and doing this and doing that, you were able to do a lot of different features. In terms of the Crown Tundra, this seems a little bit more fleshed out in terms of length and also in terms of things that you can go through and experiment with. There are a bunch of new Galarian Pokemon. A couple of which that are kind of remastered, like legendaries from past generations. Like, for example, Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres all have different Galarian variations. So, let's say for Zapdos, he's kind of reworked like a Roadrunner type of creature to where he's like fire and fighting. I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. But in and of itself, there are a couple different elements that I'm looking forward to most. One is actually exploring the whole like terrain of the Crown Tundra and see how it elements certain like Pokemon, like the whole 2 new Reggie Pokemon that that whole spiel and stuff, because them being variations of another Pokemon like Regigigas and stuff from Gen 4. But there's also another feature that I'm kind of excited about. There is a element to where you can actually acquire, I think, most of the legendary Pokemon through other types of events in the Crown Tundra. Like, say, for example, let's say you want to get the original Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Well, them alongside other legendary Pokemon like Lugia, Ho-Oh, and like the legendary dogs and stuff, plus other generations of legendaries will appear in this expansion pack inside of this Crown Tundra expansion. So a lot of the fun I'm thinking about having is trying to collect these legendaries, because there are some I've never had a chance to go through and capture. And I'm talking about specifically like legitimate versions of Celebi, Jirachi. I mean, hell, I believe if my memory serves me correct, I have completed the Pokedex a couple different times across like the previous Pokemon games. Jirachi was that special case to where the only reason why I acquired its Pokemon like information is because I did a trade back with a friend back in the day online. But that's one of the major elements that I am looking forward to. Other than that, there really wasn't too much info that was shared in the Crown Tundra. Other than that, you did have the reveal of Galarian Slowking, which then in and of itself, he looks pretty sinister. He has this shelter that's almost completely on top of his head, and it's like he has this evil like freaking eyes that are the place of shelter and stuff, and he's poison. Yeah, he's like his poison psychic type, which ain't too bad of a typing now that I think about it, but there's like a specific ability for him. I forget exactly what it is, but I'm kind of interested in seeing how Galarian Slowking will work. Other than that, it was just kind of a basic overview of what the Crown Tundra is, and it's like some new elements that I just went through and mentioned. But it's coming out soon. It's actually going to be coming out late October.
October 22nd.
About it. Yeah, October 22nd, so a few short weeks away. So that gives me more of a reason to power on my old Switch, because I am not going to fucking restart that game from zero on my Switch Lite. So it's time for me to get out the old dock, plug it back in, put the Switch on top of there, and use my Pro Controller, because it's been a long while since I've used that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
But that's October.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, it's only a few weeks away, so that's pretty cool. Especially, it's funny because we were talking about how it was going to fit in the timeline. I thought that'd be a December thing, but cool to see it's even earlier than we thought.
I thought it was going to be November.
Well, they said end of November, but I figured with November was already they already had the Hyrule Warriors game. I'm like, and they already got Pikmin, so I was thinking December, but yeah, that's cool though. Only if you don't have to wait too long for it, so. But speaking of it, sticking with Nintendo, we had their announcement that it was a 3-minute announcement. They're showing off the second fighter in the second DLC pack. We got Steve from Minecraft. This one has been like heavily rumored for a while now. And I don't think anybody was like really too surprised that it happened. I think shocked, yeah, but I don't think surprised. It was. Well, I know a lot of people were really excited about this, but it's coming out October 13th. It was weird to start off with like a 3-minute announcement. And it's like, hey, check back in 2 days, and we're going to have a breakthrough. And had Sakurai coming in and talking about bringing out. It's pretty cool stuff. When they talk about like they had to like rework every stage so that Steve's like block abilities would work for their stage. And then they had some they have like a block Kirby. They announced 6 new costumes for the Mii fighters, like Bomberman, Travis Touchdown. Are part of the costumes, and the zombie, and I think pig armor. I think the pig, and then there's like a diamond armor one is out there as well. They're like 70 cents. They're only like 75 cents a piece, but Yep, this is the second one of it. I bought both DLC packs. I've been, for the most part, I mean, I think I actually like Min Min a lot. I went back and I played her a while back, and I've done probably a good dozen or so matches with her, and I think she's a blast to play with. Joker is pretty cool. I didn't really care for Byleth. Did I even? I think I've only used Banjo once or twice, but I don't know. So for the most part, like I think it's definitely I think overall is this best for Smash? Like some of the stuff that happens, like overall is it what giving the gamers what they want? Yes, I think it's bringing more people attention to getting these third party ones. I think for the most part, it's like I want more new blood and like new games. Like I wasn't really the Byleth one was pretty disappointing, being the final character of the DLC pack for pack 1.
Right.
And the 47th Fire Emblem character in the game, but like it's Min Min didn't bother me too much, even though it's a Nintendo game, but it's cool because it's fresh blood. It's a new character. It's a new character it's a new franchise, a new character from a new franchise being brought in, and I feel like the getting third party games out there is really cool too, especially because like this is like I think this is the first like American based like kind of character that's been brought into a Smash game for the most part. Like I think every single one so far has been brought in by a Japanese based studio.
Now that you mention it,
I don't know if you count Banjo-Kazooie with being Rare, but I'd still kind of consider that because it was Nintendo, mostly a Japanese based thing. But yeah, I can't think of anything else that would fall in line with that.
Let's think about it. Rare was inside of the UK, I think.
Was it?
Right.
Rare.
I'm trying to think about it. David Wise and like all the other people that worked there at the time.
United Kingdom. You're right.
Yeah, it was United Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's right. So I think you may have something right there because I cannot remember like a USA property gaming license actually be affiliated with Smash Brothers, and especially in terms of a character.
Mojang is from Sweden, so it's not even American based. Never mind.
Well. Haha. Well, you know what? Who knows? I mean, at this point, almost anybody can make it inside of a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Hell, there's even little bits of teases from, like, things, oh, hey, maybe Master Chief will make it in, maybe Doom Guy will make it in, it's like that type of logic to where we have, like, 4 more characters that are going to be unveiled?
Yeah, 4 more.
I think.
And they got to the end of next year
more
to give us those 4, so...
And who knows what type of craziness is going to be to that. 2 things we do know from this announcement from Steve, from like things, is like the DLC packs. Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes and Bomberman are both DLC costumes in that regards, which I can understand did make some people upset because there were some fans that wanted to see Travis Touchdown as a playable character or Bomberman, which hey, that's perfectly fine, but at the same time, those properties are being represented inside Smash Brothers as well. And as far as the whole announcement for Steve in Minecraft, man, I mean, let me just be perfectly frank here. I woke up in the morning of just like, oh, okay, a new Smash character is going to be revealed. Turn on my phone, watch the video or something on my phone, and I look at it, and then all of a sudden, it was kind of like a polarizing reaction for me, because it was the first time that I have actually seen a reveal of a Smash character where I saw the trailer, I knew everything that was going on stream, but nothing really hit with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was just like, oh man, that's cool. Then I just turned back, and I just went back to sleep for a little bit. But I do understand the significance of this. Minecraft is one of the best-selling IPs, the best-selling game, one of the best-selling games of all time.
Yeah.
And this is significant for a couple of reasons. One, basically Smash Brothers, when you think about it, a lot of these characters that are making a lot of people have played inside their childhoods. Pac-Man, Mario, Pikachu, Link, even like people like say like Solid Snake and this and that. A lot of these characters that are introduced into Smash Brothers, people have a lot of like either fun nostalgia with, or they have a lot of good memories with. Minecraft is definitely one of those properties where a lot of people, when this came out, they were kids, and Minecraft is also influential on another level to where it was actually one of the games that prompted YouTube gaming on YouTube so predominantly back around when it first released officially. Because a lot of that time was spent people playing Minecraft and uploading videos on that, and that's what eventually created a spark to how YouTube gaming is nowadays, to where there is Minecraft videos, but now there's so many other types of gaming videos that are on YouTube for good and for bad. But at the same point, it's like, I'm glad the people that are fans of Minecraft have a chance to play as Steve or like a bunch of other different costumes and stuff. But what was really funny during that announced trailer is like they had the little costume with that one dude called like the one like a skin for Steve called Enderman. And then all of a sudden you just see him edge forward to like a snake inside of a cardboard boxes. He goes to taunt, and Snake's just looking out, and you see the Enderman's eyes just peering right through the thing. And like I fucking laughed so hard at that. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! It's like peering in the snake's box.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Oh man, but what do you think about this, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of with you where it's like, is it making me excited? Like I watched the little bit of the stream that Sakurai did. Man, that guy needs a vacation so bad.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. I watched from the gameplay, the fighting. I'm like, yeah, it looks okay. Like I'm not, like I said, I wasn't blown away by any of this. I think his level looks pretty cool actually. I like that, like the style of that. But I don't know, I'm not. I don't think I think he'll be like a decent character to play as, but he's not gonna be one that I don't see a lot of people like from a strategic level playing as him. He seems like just kind of like a fun character to have in there, and like just another character. But it's like
I definitely got that feel. He kind of feels like a troll character to me.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's not the worst one because I still think the Byleth one is that one. That one was so disappointing.
I think it's more or less outed. I think it's more or less like this character's added because of how significant the IP was.
Yeah.
And even with Sakurai was like discussing about it. I mean, there was some sarcasm in terms of like, how much like the power he had to go through and do, like to add in this one character that's so low res and low poly and this and that.
Yeah.
But no, it's significant because it's like Nintendo, I think, literally went up to him or something like that. Hey, you think we could add Minecraft? Like this person right here, this and that. And he's like, well, okay, let's go ahead and just see if we can add that. And they got the okay.
Yeah.
And,
I have a feeling it's more of like,
funny.
hey, we're adding Steve from Minecraft, make it work, and this is him making it work. But I don't know, the big thing that came out of it for me, honestly, more than anything, was the amiibo stuff, like the Banjo Kazooie one.
Yeah,
definitely want that one. Terry and I don't remember, was Min wasn't shown yet. No, but Banjo and Terry, like I like Terry a lot in that game. He's pretty cool. So those two, I'm like definitely. I got Persona. I got Joker today actually in the mail. I had to go pick it up from my parents' house. It was funny. I bought it. I pre-ordered the day it came out, and then I looked at my bank account and I had a charge from Amazon. I'm like, what the fuck did I buy on Amazon? And I looked and I'm like, what the fuck? I just looked at my orders and like my recent orders. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it? And then I looked. Your order has been delivered today. I'm like, what the fuck is it? I looked. Oh, it's Joker. Oh, okay. I bought him I pre-ordered him back in like June. So, but yeah,
I know, man. It's like I can't wait for those amiibos to drop.
What were the other
Kazooie with Terry?
Was it there was different ones too? Amiibos.
I bet there was. I haven't seen any type of amiibos in my area for quite a long while. At least not since I bought Richter Belmont and stuff like that from a Walmart. But
yeah, I'm trying to remember there was other ones too, because like not all of the amiibos are out right now for Smash.
No, of course not. I think the character from Dragon Quest 11, I think that
Hero
one needs to come out.
Yeah,
Hero, that's right. I'm not too sure about Bayonetta. Maybe no wait.
Bayonetta's been out.
Okay, I'm trying to think what else here, because Banjo-Kazooie, you had Joker, you had Terry. It's a lot of the DLC related characters, right? So it's like,
yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
I have no clue.
There's Joker, which is already out. God, I can't find. Never mind, I can't find. I know there was more revealed that I'm like, yep, because there was like 4 sitting there at the end of that presentation. I'm like, I want those. So yeah, I don't know.
Banjo-Kazooie and Terry look freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm awfully tempted to see if I can find the Terry Bogard thing, because man, he plays almost exactly like he does in like the SNK games. So it's like you do the quarter circle, or some do his crack shoot, or some or do his power wave, and like his rising tackle. Oh Jesus Christ, man! It's so fun playing as Terry Bogard inside the Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, he's good. He definitely is. Yeah, I guess that was the only 5. I thought there was more revealed. Never mind. Yeah, I do want to see what the Steve one is going to look like, though. I think it would look pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But moving on. I think we're going to just... we don't need to do that one. We'll just do one last one here, Cables. This isn't really a news topic. This is just something I want. It'd be fun to talk about. It's our most anticipated games for the rest of 2020. So,
ooh, interesting.
If you want me to, I can go first.
Go first, Tyler.
All right.
I'm actually interested to see what you want to play.
So, like I was mentioning earlier in the show, like I don't have anything I'm looking forward to before Extra Life. So everything I'm looking forward to is comes out in November. I mentioned the week after Extra Life is a hell week. November 10th, we got Gears Tactics on Xbox. That's coming. You can play that on the Xbox One and the Series X. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. Spider-Man Miles Morales, obviously. And Sackboy, the 2 big ones that I'm looking forward to for the PS5 event. That's just 2 days after Gears. Those are coming. Those are the launch games for PlayStation 5. I'm looking forward to actually Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't think I'm gonna pick up day one just because, like I said, like I'm already saying, like you're about, I'm gonna go through all these games. I look forward to playing. But that is, that's when I'm gonna wait to play and stuff because I'm gonna be busy on games. Then Cyberpunk, obviously, I'm super pumped for. That's one I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna play last because that's gonna be a long one. And then last but not least, probably the one I'm actually the most looking forward to. Like it's close with Miles Morales and this are the 2 I'm looking forward to the most actually. But it's the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I see. That as soon as that was announced, was shot up right up to the top where I can't fucking wait. I mean, like I was excited. I'd be excited for Hyrule Warriors 2 anyways, but the fact that they're gonna just going back to the Breath of the Wild world, explaining the story that happened 100 years ago. That's the most exciting part. Is like the most exciting part to me about Breath of the Wild 1 was the story, and we got very little of it in that game.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's like I'm looking forward to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games for the rest of the year, and they all come out between the 10th and the 20th of November. So
wow,
yeah, it's gonna be the last 6-7 weeks of the year for me are gonna be pretty nuts. But that's what I'm looking forward to. What about you, Gables?
All right. Well, mine is a little bit lower than what you have in that regards. Where I am looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077. That game in and of itself, I am very sure that CD Projekt Red has done their due diligence. I mean, they're doing their crunch now in order to try to get this game out by November, the release date. So I'm highly wanting to play this game because I'm really curious upon how the quality is. The other game, obviously, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I want to play that game. That looks like it was done inside the Breath of the Wild's engine. The combat looks fluid. It looks like an evolved form of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Definitely good company. That is definitely an action game I do want to play. So I got like 2 games in the month of November that I want to go through and play. Obviously Crash 4, even though it has personally released like last Friday, I think it was. That's a game I really do want to delve into because for one, I do have some interest in playing this game. It's been getting some good reviews. The platform looks solid. It's supposed to be highly replayable, and you know how I am with good platforming games. It's like it is almost like my crack in that regards. And I say that in the most positive way possible because I love a good platformer. Now, I am probably going to be waiting maybe for about a week or so, give or take. But at the same time, like I said, Crash 4, that one. As that stands right now, I'm trying to think of anything else that I would love to play that kind of like releases at the end of this year. I mean, obviously you have the things like Miles Morales and stuff, the Spider-Man Miles Morales and like the Demon Souls, not the Demon Souls, but like, that's
Demon Souls. Yeah.
Demon Souls.
What about the Destiny 2 Beyond Light?
Well, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, honestly, I am looking forward to seeing how that does. At this point in time, it's like I've kind of delved back a little bit from playing Destiny 2 for the time being. It's kind of like those weird chunks of things that I get. Like I'm interested in playing the games, and all of a sudden I kind of want to play something else in this regards. But I'm kind of waiting and seeing how that is because I'm confident that I will be playing a little bit more Destiny 2, but I'm not sure if I want to invest in Dying Light. Not Dying Light, Beyond Light yet. So I'm waiting and seeing how that does. Because there's supposed to be a huge bunch of improvements that are supposed to take place. So it's definitely on my radar, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to invest in it
Well, you got the Game Pass. It'll be. I think it's supposed to be free on there, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Yes, it is. It is. And I'm keeping that in mind. So I can always transfer stuff between versions of Destiny 2. So I'm going to probably try that when it does release. So I'll have a chance to play Beyond Light now that I think about it. But other than that, I really don't know what else I want to play for the rest of the year. Because we have a whole bunch of stuff that comes out in November, obviously. A couple things that I'm forgetting about probably in December. I know Pikmin 3.
Yeah, Pikmin.
I know Pikmin.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I know Pikmin 3 releases on the 30th of this month. Yeah, that's probably something I could pick up too. I mean, so all in all, I'm thinking about maybe 4, maybe 5 at most.
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah, I think I'd say the only big thing in December is Gods and Monsters, or
Well,
not whatever it's called. Whatever the fuck it.
Yeah, God.
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising, that and that. But yeah, the number one game I feel like is Cyberpunk 2077. And depending upon what it is, I could play it on the PS4, I could play it on the Xbox One. If the game had come on Game Pass day of, I would be fucking flipping my shit because I'd be playing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just that's probably I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to most of Miles Morales and however it is, but that's I know that game that's going to be I'm going to have to put on my list last because they have everything else is going to be shorter games. I'm sure. Maybe, I don't know how long Miles Morales is going to be, but it's I know Gears Tactics. Actually, I heard that game's 30, 40 hours on PC to beat. But I don't know. That and Cyberpunk will be the two games I probably delve into last, just because I know I can't jump between other games, and I know those are the games I'm going to have to they're going to get my attention. I need to focus on those games. So when it comes to gaming. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good, quietly good rest of the year. No, I guess not quietly, but there's a lot of dead spots this year, and then it seemed like we get a burst and then be dead for a while, and then a burst, and it's been a little slow this week. Like I said, we had Star Wars Squadron and Crash 4. So, but then it's a little slow until the end of the month, and then November hits, and it's gonna be fucking nuts. So. Yeah, but can't wait till then. But yeah, till next time, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, I hope you have yourself a fun week, and I definitely hope you play yourself some fun games. But most importantly than that is thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
And hey, Gables.
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Wipe your ass.
See you.
And goodbye, guys.
Stole it, bitch. Ha
Oh, God. All right, well, we out.
Excuse me. Few too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.